Hello and welcome to this quick video that demonstrates the flow of funds when a project signs up to use the ToroNet payment gateway. All right. The way projects have been set up, the preferred method is for this example, we're going to be looking at the Naira, Naira, gateway really. All right. So if a project operates in Naira, they are required to pre-fund their account. So the project starts with, let's say, 100,000 Naira. Okay. So at the beginning, the project has 100,000 Naira. They deposit it off-chain to a ToroNet liquidity provider. So now they no longer have that amount and it's in ToroNet's liquidity provider account. So off-chain total that is existing off-chain is 100,000. To balance that on-chain, Toro Nairas, 100,000 Toro Nairas are minted for the project into their reserve. So on-chain, there's 100,000 Toro Naira balancing this 100,000 Naira. All right. So now, if this project uses the gateway to have a customer buy 20,000 in Toro Naira, right? So the customer deposits 20,000 Naira physically. It goes automatically into ToroNet's off-chain liquidity provider. And in exchange, the project, the 20,000 Toro Naira, goes from the project reserve to the customer. So that off-chain, and then in addition, so this is actually a combined step. In addition, because the new funds are being deposited by the customer, the 20,000 Naira is minted in the reserve so that off-chain, what balances this 120,000 Naira is on-chain, is the 120,000 Naira off-chain. All right. Now, the question then is why the minted amount isn't just simply minted and provided to the project. The reason why is because in the real world, there's such a thing as chargebacks. So we have to make sure that this amount off-chain clears and there's no chargebacks to it. There are basically by regulations time periods upon which an amount in the fiat world is assumed to be final, right? And at that time, once the amount is final, this amount, if the project is not set for pass-through, this amount is provided and sent back to the project. If the project is set for pass-through, the amount, this is the case that's looked here. If the project is set for pass-through, the amount is sent to the project because they sold the 20,000 Naira. So the project gets the 20,000 Naira. And now on-chain with liquidity provider, there's still 100,000 Naira. And since the project did credit the customer automatically with the payment system gateway, which is a companion video that should go with this illustration, right? So you know how the payment gateway works. So that 20,000 Naira is circulating and is in a customer account. So on-chain project still has 80,000 Naira. They've sold 20,000 Naira, it's in the customer account. And in exchange, they got that 20,000 Naira physically. And so everything on-chain balances 100,000 off-chain and 100,000 on-chain. Now, when customer wishes to cash out 20,000 Naira, the customer wants to cash out this amount. Customer cashes it out of ToroNet reserve because amounts that are on-chain and by the stablecoin are a contract between the ToroNet platform and the customer. So the customer can cash out, right? And when the customer cashes out, the liquidity provider pays 20,000 Naira out and the customer 20,000 Naira is consumed, burnt on-chain. And so at the end of the day, we end up back at 80,000 Naira on-chain and 80,000 Naira off-chain. Okay, so basically, the key thing that just needs to be set up by each project is if they set up a pass-through, then they just provide their banking information. And once funds clear, they go straight and they're credited into their account. If they don't have a pass-through set up, once funds clear, they're provided those funds on-chain. And they can now withdraw it anytime they like using the withdrawal APIs, which have also been provided. There's a companion video on how to use that. It's really simple. Anyone with a balance in Toro Naira can request for it to be withdrawn. And at that time, it is burnt and then it is, it is the amount is provided to the customer, to the account that they have requested that it be sent to. So projects can make use of that as well to withdraw any of their stable coins on chain.